The second I was born, I noticed a nurse was about to swap out my wristband. My parents were flirting with each other when they suddenly heard my thoughts. "Mom, help! They're trying to switch me out." They both snapped their heads up and looked around, completely lost. "Stop looking around. Look at me. Your son is about to get swapped. If they pull it off, Dad's childhood sweetheart will come crying that Mom cheated. You'd take the wrong baby for a paternity test, and Mom would have no way to prove her innocence. Then she'd take me to do a paternity test with Dad, and he'd think she actually had his kid. That's when everything between you two falls apart. Here's the thing, though. Dad never actually did anything with her. She tried to make a move when he was drunk, but her boyfriend called her away at the last second. Dad just doesn't remember that night, so if he sees her kid, he'll automatically assume something happened." Dad's expression went cold, and he jumped up to stop the nurse. "Hey, where exactly are you taking our baby?" Oh, thank God, Dad finally caught on. Meanwhile, Dad was internally done. Who said having a son would be wholesome? This kid's mouth is straight up lethal. Mom snapped back to it too, barely able to sit up, but she pushed herself anyway. "Where do you think you're taking my son?" The nurse panicked. "What are you talking about? This isn't your baby. Check the wristband. Check what wristband? That thing was already switched." Mom's face went stone cold. "My son has a birthmark on his butt. Let us see it." Dad grabbed the baby and checked without hesitation. "Excuse me, I have dignity. My innocence is gone." Once they confirmed it was their kid, Dad's voice dropped to ice. "So, what do you have to say for yourself?" The nurse completely froze, then started stammering. "I'm so sorry. I must have mixed them up during bath time. I'm so sorry." She knew there was zero chance of walking out with me now. "Girl, you clearly switched them on purpose. I felt the whole thing. Sure, I'm a newborn and my vision isn't great, but I could absolutely feel you swapping that band." Dad said coldly, "Pull the security footage. There are cameras in the baby washing area." The nurse's face drained of all color. She stumbled back and dropped to her knees. Okay, I'll talk. I'll say everything." Then another nurse ran out. "Wait, did you mix up the wristbands?" She'd noticed the name didn't match the baby and came to check, only to find her coworker already on the floor. Yunfu told the nurse to come with him, then called someone to stay with Mom and escort her back to the room. Mom refused to sleep. She sat right by the crib and watched me like a hawk, terrified I'd get swapped again. "Mom, stop staring at me. You're making me nervous." Lu Ru nearly burst out laughing. She still couldn't figure out why she could hear her baby's thoughts, and apparently her husband could too. Either way, this was her child. No matter how wild any of this was, she would never let anything hurt her own kid. Mom reached over and gently poked my little cheek. "My sweet baby, you're going to grow up happy and loved. Don't worry, Mom. As long as you and Dad stick together, I'm never going to struggle for a single day, because Dad is seriously loaded." Meanwhile, Yunfu stood in the hallway with a heavy expression, listening to everything the nurse had to say. He could barely believe it. He actually could hear his son's thoughts, and everything that kid said was real. All of this was orchestrated by his childhood sweetheart, Lin Shinro. But didn't she already have a kid with someone else? Why go through all this? Yunfu called the police and had the nurse taken away. With character like that, she had no business working in a hospital. Just as he was processing everything, his phone rang. He picked up, and before he could say a word, Grandpa went off. "Xiao Yun, you little punk. You went and had a kid with someone and didn't even bring them home to meet us? Are you planning to just ghost her?" Grandpa ranted nonstop, and Yunfu didn't dare say a word back. After all, when he got together with Lu Ru, his parents had been completely against it. Lu Ru was an orphan, abandoned at the orphanage door the day she was born. A background like that brought nothing to the Yun family table. So his parents had always pushed for him to marry Lin Shinro, but Yunfu only ever saw her as a little sister, nothing more. Things blew up in a massive fight, and his family cut him off financially without blinking. But Yunfu didn't fold. He and Lu Ru built everything from the ground up, and now he runs his own company. It's not the Yun group, sure, but it's more than enough for both of them to live comfortably. So they finally decided to start a family. He never brought Lu Ru back home to meet everyone, but they'd been officially married long before any of this. After he finished venting, Grandpa's tone finally softened a little. "A boy, huh? Yunmo, is it? Once Lu Ru's recovered, bring the three of you home. You stay at the hospital. Your grandma and I are heading over right now." Yunfu was genuinely confused. When his older brother got married and had kids, Grandpa wasn't anywhere near this enthusiastic. When Yunfu got back to the room, Liu Ru was breastfeeding, holding me in her arms. But inside, I was a mess. In my past life, I was a legendary master of metaphysics, and now here I am drinking milk. Not gonna lie though, it's pretty sweet. The two of them exchanged a glance, something flickering in both their eyes. It all went back to when Liu Ru was pregnant, and they ran into a Taoist monk. He walked straight up to her belly and bowed deeply. He started rambling about, "The Heavenly Master has arrived, we're saved, everything's going to be okay." They both brushed it off at the time. Now thinking back on it, the monk also mentioned some place called Shinshu Temple. They set the thought aside. Liu Ru asked, "So what did the nurse tell you?" "I was half asleep a second ago, but the moment I heard that, fully awake." "Time to get the tea." Dad held back a smile and nodded. She confessed everything. Lin Shinro paid her to do it. "I genuinely don't get it. That's clearly her kid with someone else. Why try to pin it on me? Isn't it obvious? Her baby daddy just got arrested and she doesn't want her kid growing up with a criminal's name. So she locked onto you. You're rich and gullible. What more could she ask for? Nothing hits harder than getting roasted by your own newborn." Liu Ru gave Yunfu a look of genuine sympathy. Honestly, the kid wasn't wrong. Her family didn't approve of her being with that man, but she'd already had the baby, and she loved him too much to walk away. So she decided to make you the fallout. She'd use me for a fake paternity test, swap me out, and smuggle her own kid into the Yun family. Cold-blooded doesn't even cover it. Yunfu looked physically ill. Who does something like that to someone else's family? She was literally trying to blow up my home. He quickly changed the subject. "Oh, Grandpa said he's coming by later." That stopped Liu Ru cold. "They don't even like me. Why would they come?" Grandpa's a total tough love guy. When Dad was just starting out, Grandpa was secretly backing him behind the scenes. If he hadn't, With the way Dad and the family had fallen out, no business partner would have touched him. Grandpa never actually disliked Mom, it was Grandma who kept putting her foot down. They were still listening to my thoughts when the door opened, and Great-Grandpa and Great-Grandma walked in. Great-Grandpa was well into his 80s, but honestly still looked sharp. I was only a few days old, soft, pink, barely able to keep my eyes open. But when I felt someone watching me, I lifted my little hand. That one little move completely melted Great-Grandpa. He gently touched my tiny hand. He looked over at Yunfu. "Have you picked a name yet?" Liu Ru answered, "Not yet. We were actually hoping you'd choose one." Great-Grandpa's expression softened. "Xiao Ru, you worked hard. Get some rest. Anything you need, just say the word. As for the name, let me think on it properly." Before he could even finish, Great-Grandma shoved him aside. "Oh, move it. Let me see my baby." She couldn't stop gushing, then dug a card out of her bag. "It all happened so fast, I didn't have time to get a gold lock or anything. We'll make it up once you're home. Take this card for now. Nobody's letting my grandbaby go without." She pressed the card right into Liu Ru's hand. "There's 10 million in there. Xiao Ru, I know you're not the type to care about money, but this is for the baby. Just hold on to it for him." 10 million? Mom, take it, take it. And if you turn it down, I will cry. That money is mine. Liu Ru didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She and her husband had never cared much about money. So how did they end up with a tiny little gold digger? "Okay, Great-Grandma, I'll hold on to it for him. Don't worry, every cent stays in his account." I was grinning to myself inside. "Mom, honestly, even if you spend some of it, I won't say a thing. You're my favorite person in the whole world." Liu Ru felt a warm wave wash over her. She'd never touch his money, but the fact that he'd let her meant everything. "I'm thinking we call him Momo as a nickname. May he grow up wise, talented, and full of depth." Liu Ru and Yunfu looked at each other. "Perfect. We love it. Thank you, Grandpa." Great-Grandpa was absolutely beaming. "Momo, our little Momo." When I heard that, I threw a little fist pump. "I love it. Great name." Great-Grandpa blinked, then his whole face lit up even more. "Xiao Ru, don't let Xiao Yun's parents get to you. They just don't know better. How about you all move back to the estate? Keep an old man company, and let me be part of Momo growing up." Yunfu glanced at Liu Ru and said, "Grandpa, give us a little time to talk it over." Grandpa nodded. "All right, let me know tonight. If you're in, I'll come pick you all up tomorrow." Great-Grandpa was getting tired, age does that. But he still couldn't resist one last look at me before leaving. "Momo, Grandpa will be back tomorrow." I waved my little fist at him, but inside something felt off. There's a bad energy coming off Great-Grandpa. It feels like dark energy, and it's coming from around his chest. Is Great-Grandpa wearing a jade pendant? Because if he keeps wearing that thing, it could actually cost him his life. Liu Ru and Yunfu exchanged a glance. Yunfu immediately stepped forward. "Grandpa, let me walk you out." Great-Grandpa and Great-Grandma looked at each other. They'd both heard my thoughts too. At first they thought they were imagining things, but now it was clear. I was really talking.